just like our previous Zion video, this video we're doing more things we've never done before.
Exploring.
Stay tuned to find out what Chad's doing on Angel's Landing.
Going four-wheeling.
Oh, ow, ow! Careful. As you have hopefully seen in our previous couple of Zion National Park videos, we've been having a blast.
Blast doesn't even cover it.
Oh, I know. But we're saving the scariest, most thrilling part for this video.
My daughters, Megan and Madison, are still with us in this part 3. They were with us for a little over a week. And boy, do we have some really cool stuff to share with you.
I mean, how many times have you guys seen us spend 10 days in a place and have to make 3 videos out of it?
We're not that interesting.
But we jam-packed our schedule to make sure we made the most of our time with them. As we previously had mentioned, it can be quite challenging to figure out how to maneuver around this national park. It can also be challenging just planning your time at the national park because there are 2 main roads that go through Zion, but one of them is only accessible via the national park's shuttle service or your own e-bike.
Yeah, or walking, which, you know, you'll spend your whole day walking up there. If you want more details on some of the intricacies of how to get in, how to book stuff, we have that in our previous video that we'll link below.
Once again, we decided to go against the grain and go against all the advice that you read online, where everyone tells you if you want to do some of the most popular hikes like the Narrows or Angel's Landing, just to name a couple, that you need to go first thing in the morning. Well, A, we're not morning people.
No.
And B, we have figured out that because that's what you read everywhere online, that's what everybody does. So we wanted to try and see what Angel's Landing was like late afternoon, early evening. And we were gonna take our own e-bikes, and then we rented Megan and Madison their own e-bikes as well from Zion Guru, where we also got our gear that we use for the Narrows.
See right here is how much battery life you have left. The 1 through 4 is how much assistance the bike gives you. So you're gonna start pedaling and you'll feel it kick in as you start to pedal. So then on the left-hand side, you have a plus and minus button. As you're biking, if you want some more speed, you want to go up a hill a little easier, whatever the case may be, you just press this plus button up to whatever feels most comfortable.
Zion Guru was fantastic. I mean, from all the information they gave us on the Narrows to this e-bike thing and how that all works, they were just fantastic. And it worked out really well.
This was the scariest part for Megan and Madison. They weren't as afraid of Angel's Landing as they were getting on these e-bikes.
Scaredy cam on. Scaredy cam on. Here's the scaredy cats. Not that scared, just for the bikes. Bikes are scary. Scarier than Angel's Landing.
Gotta relax, gotta keep it cool. Don't gotta stress over what to do.
Megan said it's not bad. She's on 2. You love that pedal assist now, right?
Do what you wanna do. Keep it cool. Kick back, settle into the groove. Keep it cool. Keep it cool.
Hello. It's the 4 of us.
So when you pick up your e-bike and they give you directions on how to get into the park and up the scenic drive by e-bike versus by car, pay attention. We did, but we still got kind of lost. I mean, I know it's our thing.
I'm assuming this is the right way. Okay. We even have it on film, and it's still confusing.
Even when you watched it back?
Even when I watched it back. So get very good directions from Zion Guru or Zion Outfitters or whoever you rent your gear or e-bike from, and make sure you know where you're going. had to find the Pavus Trail, which was where we kind of messed up in the first place because there were some signs pointing different directions. Anyhow, we finally made it
once
to
you get
the
in
right path.
Once you get in the park and on the scenic drive, it's just one road, so it's hard to get lost from there. Now, a couple of rules you should know about if you're going to take an e-bike up there. The biggest one is if you see a shuttle, you have to pull over, you have to stop, you have to have a foot on the ground, or they won't pass you, they'll just wait.
Yeah. And then you're going to make everybody on that shuttle pretty angry.
Angry, yeah.
It's for your own safety, too.
We should just go ahead and start getting over now. Okay, guys. Shuttle. Another shuttle.
We did have some shuttles pass us, but it really wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, you could see them coming. We have our little rear view mirrors on our bikes, so that made it easy for me.
Oh, yeah.
I rode in the back, Megan and Madison were in between us, and then you were in the front. And because we have our Senna helmets, we could communicate with one another.
Yeah.
And then I could tell Megan and Madison, or I could yell to Megan and say, shuttle's coming. So the Senna helmets really worked out well, even on a road that's not very heavily trafficked, because we had to watch out for the shuttles.
We love those things.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. In addition to pulling over for the shuttles, you also need to ride in single file, which we did, which was why the helmets came in very handy. We got on the scenic drive finally, and that cooled us off because we got to go faster. That reminds me, it was very, very hot that day. So it was
like 107?
over 100. Yeah, it was about 107. Angel's Landing starts in the grotto. So that is where we got off on our e-bikes. That is where we locked up our bikes.
We've locked the bikes up, we've filled our water, topped it off.
I have a comment.
You have a comment?
I have a comment.
Okay.
The e-bike situation wasn't fun until we got on the scenic drive. After we made it to the scenic drive and we could pick up the pace, then it got fun. And it was pretty. But like that first stretch was kind of sucky and hot.
It was sucky.
And it was hard to figure out where to go.
This hike actually has several stages to it. The first section, I don't really think there's a name to it. At least I didn't see it online. But it's about a mile, and there's some longer switchbacks where you're climbing slowly. We're still getting out of breath at this point. This is the very beginning.
How far have we gone?
Half a mile.
About a half a mile
It's all uphill.
of the 2.5 miles uphill.
It's 100 at least. It was 100 when we started.
It
It feels about like 110.
And a lot of you have asked about the hydration packs that we bought for Tara and the girls as well as mine. I got a little bit bigger one because I'm just a bigger person. And we'll have links for those below. I have a Camelback and theirs is an off-brand. I forget what the name of it is. But a lot of you also asked about my gear for holding cameras on the backpack. And those are by Peak Design, and they're awesome. In fact, the camera you're watching right now is sitting on a Peak Design tripod with a Peak Design mount, and I can take it right off there, clip it here, no problem. We also had some GoPro mounts. It was nice to have everything on here because you want both of your hands the whole time for this hike. We'll have links to that stuff below, of course.
Yeah.
None of it's sponsored or anything like that.
No.
It's just stuff we bought.
We're just hanging out on Angel's Landing, taking a breather, and there's Chad. Just taking care of his hernia.
No, this is my back.
I know.
This is sciatic.
I know.
Stretches.
I just like to say hernia.
Angel's Landing. What the heck is it? I mean, for those of you that aren't familiar with Zion National Park, you've never been there, maybe you've never heard of it, this hike gets listed in the top 10 most dangerous hikes or whatever you want to look up online.
Right.
It's often included in this list because
It's dangerous.
It's-
Very.
I mean, you'll see us say this to the camera when we're doing it, but it's like, how the heck did they decide that they were just going to open this up to the public and let anyone try to do this hike? Do not attempt it if you are afraid of heights. Do not attempt it if you are in poor health. I'm not in very good health. I did it, but it was really hard, and it was probably more than I should have done, but I did it, and I'm proud of myself for doing it. But
Yeah, and it's something that if you're capable of doing, you should really do.
Oh
It's
my gosh.
amazing. Yeah, the downhill part looks fun.
It's the worst day ever.
Did you say it's the worst thing ever?
It's the worst day ever, dude. So we're switchbacking.
We're switchbacking.
Switchbacking
I think that's a verb
all
now.
the way up there. I believe 13 people have died on this hike since 2000.
Since 2004.
That's not bad, about one a year. So a
That's
year.
not good.
You'll see why though. You got to be very careful. But if you're smart and you have the right gear, another people have asked about our hiking shoes also. You want really good hiking shoes for this. And
We wear oboes. They're a little bit heavier, but man, those things are grippy.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like, especially on the scarier hikes. Then we get to the refrigerator or refrigeration canyon or something like that.
because it's cooler.
But it's cooler because there's more trees, you're shaded, it flattens out for a little while so you can rest your legs and, you know, kind of walk on a flat path for a little bit. Really beautiful, you know, high canyons all
The
around
whole
you.
hike is beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't like the way that I've become, living with nothing changing.
And then you get to the Walters Wiggles portion of the hike, which is a series of 21 really short but really steep switchbacks where you go. It's the zigzag pattern that you see in a lot of pictures when you look up Angel's Landing.
And that was named after the guy who made the made those switchbacks,
Yes.
Walter something.
Yeah.
Wiggles because it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
He was a park ranger and they made those in what, like 1930s or
I
something?
think so, yeah.
We gotta go up there.
Don't need a thing, but I need you right now. You right now. You say I'm strong, but I'm weak. Don't need a thing, but I need you.
How's it going?
I can't believe people like Everest.
That is so cool, that whole wall right there.
I know.
All the patterns.
So cool.
And we've only gone 1.8 miles.
Looking for life perfectly made, but I know something's missing. Would you say I'm broken if in this life I'm needed?
So we're going up there.
After the Walters Wiggles portion of the hike, you come to Scout's Landing, which is just a more wide open area where you can sit and you can rest. You can get a snack. We called it snack area.
We've made it to Snack Point is what we're calling it. We're at the point where it's 0.5 miles up to Angel's Landing, right up there. So taking a little break, having a snack.
But we sat there and we had our snack and we watched the cute little chipmunks and the big fat squirrels that aren't afraid of humans at this point. There are restrooms up there too if you need to use the facilities. That's where you go.
Yeah, that's very convenient. I was really surprised they had those up there.
Yeah, it's nice though. It's nice that they have that. And this is the stopping point for a lot of people because from this point is another half mile, but it's a half a mile up and climbing.
On this.
Yes.
Hey! Did you do it? No?
The
Kids, there's 3 of them are up there.
Oh,
They've been up there for a while.
uh-oh. They're having too much fun.
Good luck.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Thanks.
So this is where a lot of people stop and they either let half of their group who wants to keep climbing go and wait for them, or they just sit and they watch people.
Yeah, and it's perfectly valid if you want to go
Yeah.
up and stop there because the views from there are still really good.
Yeah.
And that's before the super scary part.
I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from me.
Let's take it slow, a little bit at a time. It's just rocks. The last section of the hike before the actual big summit is called the Hog's Back, I guess because it's maybe like a hog's back.
Well,
like a
it's
razorback.
very narrow and you're climbing up and it's just,
Yeah.
it's like this. So
It'll make sense.
that's the hardest part of, and the scariest part of the whole thing. So we're getting there. They do have chains in some sections that you need to
Yeah.
hold on to them as you climb.
They're not optional.
They
You'll
don't.
see.
I was under the impression that they had chains the entire way up that Hog's Back section of Angel's Landing, but that's not the case. They only have it in about half of the spots.
Right, just where you really need it.
So we're still climbing, and we are getting exhausted. And then we make it to the top.
Nope.
Almost.
We certainly thought we did. I did. Where's the Taco Bell?
Further past that.
We thought this was it, but we're going up there.
I thought we made it.
I thought we'd done it, and now we got.
Oh my god.
You have to go now. We can't. We gotta go. I saw all those people on that other mountain, and I was like, "How do we get over there? That looks kind of cool." No, we gotta go there.
And
we
then
gotta
all
go
the guys
down,
were like, no, that's where you're going.
and then we gotta go up.
Okay.
From the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side.
And then this part, holy cow. We thought the other stuff was like crazy dangerous. This is literally like you're on an edge, you're on a knife's edge climbing up this thing. It's incredible.
I am so proud of us.
When it feels like everyone's out to get me, I see the river on the back of my
This is literally insane. This is definitely the craziest thing I've ever done.
eyes. I can see in all directions.
We keep climbing and we keep climbing, but we have to take quite a few breaks because, again, you have to step aside if there are people coming down or people that want to pass you.
There are little spots where you can find a little bit of room to maneuver, to let people down or let people up.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody up there is taking this very seriously.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
everybody's pretty courteous. We didn't come into anybody.
Oh,
letting us
absolutely.
by.
Oh, I legitimately didn't know we were climbing a mountain. I'm not kidding either.
We tried to tell them.
I know, I thought we were going on a...
I think they thought we were exaggerating.
Oh yeah, this is serious.
Like a normal hike. I thought it was just like a hike and then there was gonna be like a really narrow part. You didn't tell me we were climbing a mountain.
Yeah, I did. I even showed you pictures of this.
And so we make it to the beginning of the last set of chains to make it to the very top, to the summit, to complete Angel's Landing. And of course we had to take a break and let people come down because there were a lot of people coming down. We realized that, holy crap, I'm starting to get sprinkles,
And all of a sudden
raindrops,
the wind just whoosh.
the sky gets dark.
It was bad.
Almost there.
This far from the top, but there is a storm over there.
And
And
it's
the wind kicked up. We felt a few drops, so we're heading
this
back
is
down.
not where you want to be. This is not a risk to take,
Yeah,
in
this
my
is
opinion.
This life, it happens fast. I'll enjoy the time in this hourglass. Yes, I will. Oh, yes, I will.
We knew we had done 99% of it, and we didn't want to be those people you read about in the news.
We don't want to be numbers 14, 15, 16, and 17.
True that.
Going down was much scarier for me. Much scarier.
You were doing a little bit of butt sliding. And
I had to do a lot of butt sliding. Anything we do, any kind of hiking we do, going downhill on a steep incline like that is scary for me. I always feel off balance, so I didn't like that part.
we're next to the last people on this mountain.
Well, everybody had the same decision, which was let's leave because it seems like a storm's coming.
Get out.
So water.
It was a group decision.
And then Tara almost died.
Shut. Oh my God. Yeah, be careful right there. That's a
Debris.
yeah.
But the first time, the first slip was just I stepped in the wrong spot, but I was holding onto the chain. Nothing happened except you could just hear me go, oh, my life flashed before my eyes.
Yeah.
And it did. It was kind of scary, but luckily I was holding onto the chain. Hold onto the chain. And then a little bit later,
Everybody hear that wind on camera? That's why we're leaving. Oh, ow, ow. This is not where I want to be to freaking twist an ankle. ankle.
You want to sit down and rest it for a minute?
I want to get off this cliff, please.
It was one of those terrifying,
Very scary.
instantly terrifying moments where tears started coming out of my eyes because I'm still way on top of Angel's Landing with a lot of climbing and several more miles of hiking to go.
Yeah.
And I was afraid that I was afraid
Yeah,
that
you
I
thought
wasn't
you'd
going.
actually sprained it
It
or something.
felt like
yeah.
I twisted my ankle and I wasn't going to be able to put any pressure on it. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm on a cliff. I'm hanging on the side of a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, this was super scary. And that brings me to a point I want to make is now that we've been hiking more, we've been going more and more into remote areas with no cell signal, we bought a Garmin satellite communicator, and it gives us the peace of mind of knowing that we can reach emergency services anywhere if we need to.
Luckily, I was able to walk it off and it wasn't twisted or sprained or anything like that. So whew, it was a little tender going down that Hog's Back section, but everything worked out fine. We did the rest of the 2 miles back.
Woo! Alone in Zion again. How to beat the crowds in Zion. That's it. You just go later in the day. Forget what everybody says about going really early in the morning.
I'll say this. I don't know why I didn't buy a Camelback 2 years ago.
That's right. I know, right?
We were just right up there. That is incredible.
Then we had to get on the e-bikes and ride back to Zion Guru and return those. So it was a very long day. We were all exhausted. I feel good because the youngins were just as exhausted as we were. So it makes me feel pretty good that they were just as tired.
We are wiped out.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we are so wiped out. Got our bikes back just in time, I think. They didn't seem too upset that we're a little bit late. This trip where the girls visit was action-packed, and it was not over. We went to a place called Mad Moose Rentals, and they rented a Polaris RZR 4-seater side-by-side.
Yes. Mad Moose has 4 locations in southern Utah, and we think they're awesome. We have no affiliation with them. It's not sponsored from them or anything like that, but we just had a really good experience with them. They also offer, in addition to the 4-seater RZRs, they have 1-seaters, 2-seaters, and 6-seaters. They also rent watercrafts, so Sea-Doos. They have some boat rentals.
Lakes around there, yeah.
They have paddle boards, all kinds of things, and they offer a whole wide variety of different tours that you can go on. We decided to take a guided tour because we weren't sure of the area.
Yeah.
The area was Sand Hollow, and Sand Hollow is a state park, but then there's also Sand Hollow Resort, and Mad Moose is located inside the whole Sand Hollow Resort area. I want to say that this is Spencer.
Yes.
Mad Moose Rentals.
Welcome to Mad
We
Moose.
forgot to say that because we were in the middle of helmet frenzy.
Yeah, we just kind of jumped in.
We got your helmets, goggles, kind of showing you the locations.
Gotta have safety gear.
You watch a safety video.
Okay.
And then head out to take the tour.
Cool.
So.
And bottom left corner of your dash here is going to indicate your gear. Make sure you see that P for park anytime you do decide to stop, hop out. There's no like e-brake on it, so it will roll if it's not in park. And then up on that shifter, you got reverse, neutral, low, and high. High's all the way back. That's going to be the main gear we're in. And then safety on the machine is just make sure everyone checks their doors real good every time we go to take off. We don't want the doors to fly open while we're driving. Seatbelts need to be worn at all times, especially the driver though. If the driver's not wearing theirs, you're not going to go faster than 15.
Okay.
I'll probably lose you, so just make sure it's clipped.
Okay.
And then hopefully it doesn't happen, but if it was, if you guys were to like tip crash or roll behind me, everyone just tuck and roll to the machine. Don't try and be Superman, put your arm out, ain't gonna stop
Not
it.
gonna stop the
Nope.
machine, yeah.
We don't want any broken arms, limbs, anything like that.
Everything is possible. Out of the box and off of the page. Hey, look in the mirror. Is it calling your name? Have you ever seen something so wonderful? The world is yours. Yeah, it's your
Our guide, Hope, was amazing.
She was
Even though she went a
awesome.
little fast for Tara's taste, but but the cool thing about it was she was very willing to go at our speed. She's like, just follow me. If I see you on my tail, I'll speed up. If I don't see you for a while, I'll slow down. So
She was super cool. What a good guide.
yeah.
A lot of our trip was thick sand. And that feeling was a little bit unnerving to me.
A lot of drifting, a lot of sliding,
Yeah.
a lot of going up on banks and down, and I think just the
For me, it felt out of control.
Exactly, yeah.
Even though I know it wasn't, and it
I
didn't
was in
feel
control.
it didn't feel out of control to him, but it felt a little bit out of control to me.
well, I'm driving, so I had
Yeah, but I still really enjoyed the experience, and the girls, I mean, they loved it. They're back there, yeah, and I'm like, slow down. but for me, Angel's Landing was less scary, but I really enjoyed the experience. I think I just needed some time going a little slower through the sand to get used to the feeling
Yeah.
first. However, I think what also scared me was knowing that you had to go a certain speed to make it through the sand.
This is true. There were a lot of
So-
areas where you had to be going quickly to make it up and around for sure.
And so to me, that's why we couldn't go as slow as I wanted to through the sand, because if you weren't going 25, I think it was 25-ish,
Yeah.
25
For
to
some
30.
of it, I was definitely going faster than we needed to because it was fun.
The world is yours. The world is yours. Yeah, it's your time. To the finish line. You've got what it takes. No foot on the brakes, guys. The world is yours.
Towards the end of our guided tour, we ended up down at the reservoir, the Sand Hollow Reservoir, and that was fun because
That
we
was
got to
neat,
cool
yeah.
off. I didn't know that we were going to go splashing through the water, so
was
I
fun.
had a white shirt on, got all muddy. Doesn't matter. But the girls loved it. They loved it so much that they hopped in with Hope, and she got them really wet.
Really
and soaking.
wet,
Yeah.
Got a little wet?
Yep.
It takes time to know your love.
Ooh, that felt good.
They were soaked head to toe.
Yeah, after that, we just rode back to Mad Moose, and the next day we had to send the girls home.
Yeah, it's always sad to take them back to the airport.
We're taking them to the airport.
Yeah, it's a sad day. You gotta send them home. Send them back. Get out. Taking up too much room in the back. We're sick of it.
This was probably the most jam-packed, fun-filled trip for you guys to come out and see us yet.
Yeah, I agree. You're sure.
We have a lot to live up to in the future now. Favorite part for you, Madison?
Probably the Narrows.
The Narrows.
I think.
Megan. The Robert De Niro's.
Robert De Niro's. I think Angel's Landing was my favorite.
Conquering your fear.
Yeah, I think that was. It's a tie between Angel's Landing and the Narrows.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Mine's probably the tie too.
I liked all of that too. And I also really liked the helicopter because I didn't have to do any work
Yeah.
for that one.
I think if I could pick one thing out of all the things we did, it would probably be the Narrows. If we could only do one. Saturday Angel's Landing is tough, but at least the Narrows was cooler and you had water and it was just
hard.
it was difficult, but it was a neat hike.
It was it was different.
But we had a blast.
Oh
We made-
man, I'm still tired.
We made the best use we possibly could of our time. Luckily, Tara did lots of planning and figuring things out, which was great.
I'll tell you what, just going through the footage of all the hikes and stuff that we did during this trip, it was exhausting just watching it over again. I'm not sure how we actually made it through those 10 days, but we did. And after that, we hit the road and we're meeting up with some friends doing some boondocking. What's going on?
Oh, you see a dog out there?
Oh, I see.
Oh, she's growling.
growling?
Growl, Daisy.
Get him. You gonna get him?
Are you gonna ever look at the camera?